All right, what is going on, guys? Whoa, Johnny on the track, back with another video. Yeah, there we go. Just want to make sure that that microphone is still good to go. Coming off a big weekend last week, we had Denny Hamlin, which I gave out here. It was on the final card. Johnny on the track on Action Network at JOTT_podcast on X. So if you liked winning some money, winning that bet, hit that subscribe button down below. It goes a long way for the channel. Give this video a like if you enjoy today's content. I am excited. We are going back to Indy. We're running the oval, the Brickyard 400. I was actually at this race last year, and I just want to say, like, this race was actually quite good last year, and I know it was tough to pass, but this was, in my opinion, one like up until overtime and them not making it back to the finish line and ending under caution. Aside from that, this was a fun race. I remember vividly, and it's honestly an image in basically a 10-minute period of time that I remember so vividly of Kyle Larson just passing car after car after car when nobody could figure out how to pass. That's Indy. Track position, is key. Strategy is key. Staying up front is key. And somehow, finally, about third stage in, not many laps left. Kyle Larson just picks them off one by one. Ended up winning the Brickyard, obviously, but it was it was a masterclass by Kyle Larson. It was really just a magician working his craft, and I really enjoyed the Brickyard 400 last year. A lot of lead changes, just again because guys stayed out, tried different things, take two, take four, take none, all this different stuff. Fuel is a big part of this race. Not many cautions. Restarts are big. How quick can you get to that bottom line? So, again, I know that we can't pass. I understand that. We've really never been able to pass, except basically like the first Brickyard 400. Other than that, I mean, this is just not a track that suits NASCAR, but it's still an exceptional event. It's a fun one to watch. It just feels different, and it should. The drivers know that it's still, the top of the top to win at Indy, even when, the attendance isn't like it used to be at Indy. But overall, I mean, they know like this is one that everybody wants. It's a crown jewel. It's the Brickyard 400, and I'm excited this Sunday for said race. So with that, let's get right into it. There's a team that I like. There's a team that I like a lot. It is RFK Racing. I really like Chris Buescher, and I really like Brad Keselowski specifically. I'm going to talk a little bit more about Ryan Preece in a different way. But to me, I think you can go after that team bet. Let's see if they have it on props. Winning team, RFK Racing plus 750. That gives you Buescher and Brad as well as Preece. Buescher was great at Pocono, a similar track, usually the track that we bettors use to handicap this. It's a lot of big flat track, high horsepower. You can look at Michigan. Chris Buescher was great at Michigan. He's been really good at a lot of these high horsepower tracks. He obviously won at Michigan in the next gen era. He's got a win in his career at Pocono. Has a knack for this style of track. He was the second fastest car, and Brad was the fifth fastest car in terms of total speed ranking at Pocono. That's via iFantasyRace.com. Again, it seems like RFK they've got a little bit of a knack in the next gen era for these large, flat, high horsepower ovals. I'm excited to see them go to work, and I also like Brad for maybe an aggressive strategy call late in the race. Brad is obviously a Brickyard 400 winner. He's won here in the past. I think Buescher is going to have a great shot to do that as well. If Buescher can find a way to make his way into that top five early and then play some different strategy calls, I think he can be a part of this race late. So really like RFK this weekend as a team. I'm also looking at the Pocono winner and Chase Briscoe coming off a great result at Dover, second place finish. He's won poles this year at these pedal to the floor tracks. So again, they build speed in these kind of high horsepower style tracks. He's an indie kid. I'm sure he has had this one circled. This is his best opportunity to win the Brickyard 400 in a Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota. It just feels like it's going to be a big day for Briscoe. I mean, I can't imagine there's anything in the world that he would want more to win at Indy. We know, like when what was that? Like 4 years ago when they did the first iteration of the Indy Road Course, Briscoe was right in it at the end. So again, he is gonna find a way to make his way up front. He'll be going late in qualifying to have a good qualifying run. I would bet him for the pole. I think he's probably going to win the pole. He was the fastest car overall at Pocono for the second half of that race. Chase Briscoe. And he showed you when he was out front at a flat track that's tough to pass, he wasn't going to let anybody around him. I think also the fact coming in second and losing that Dover race, little added motivation to get one back. I think, honestly, to me, an exacta of Briscoe 1, Hamlin 2, like just reverse those two. I mean, if you can play exactas, let's see. Do they have exactas? Have they built exactas yet? Props. No. Maybe they'll put them out there. I don't see them yet, but Briscoe 1, Hamlin 2. Just saying. I'm going to throw that out there. But overall, I really like Briscoe for the storyline of being an indie guy, but also for the metrics of how good he was at Pocono. Overall, large, flat track, tough to pass. Briscoe in that Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota. I like that bet a lot. McDowell is another guy. I like McDowell. Maybe you could prop him for a top four, but I'm looking more in the top 10 range. He's going to go out late in qualifying due to a few good weeks recently with some road course finishes as well as a good solid result at Dover. Had a good average running position at Dover. He has a knack for flat tracks. He just does. In the next genera, Gateway comes to mind. Richmond comes to mind. Phoenix, he's had some top tens. Obviously, Pocono, he's had some top tens in the next genera. He is just a solid high horsepower guy in general, right? We always see him up front at super speedways. So again, these kind of pedal down to the floor tracks. McDowell seems to be up there. Add the fact that he's been great overall in the next gen era at these flat tracks. He already makes it tough to pass for his opponents. I think he's going to be aggressive on strategy, which I like. So good car last week at Dover. I think they carry the momentum. I like McDubs for a top 10. Maybe top Ford. Let's see what that prop or that number rather would be. McDowell for the top Ford. Oh shit, he's a Chevy. Oh my God, he's a Chevy. Okay, I wouldn't bet that, but he has the one, two, three. He has the fourth best odds at plus 600. Better than Bowman, better than Busch, better than Chastain, better than Hocevar. So obviously they're putting a lot of stock into where drivers are most likely going to be starting. But who knows? Maybe they know something about McDowell that we don't. Now, I will say Hocevar was good at Pocono and Hocevar was good at Michigan. So just keep that in your back pocket. Spire was good at those tracks. Obviously, McDowell with Spire as well. I can't believe that I thought McDowell was in a Ford still. That's embarrassing. But I know he races for Spire now. Anyway, I think he's going to be good. Top 10 McDubs. Props. I'm giving a couple props this week. Usually you don't hear head-to-head matchups from me, but I'm going with two. I'm going to parlay them. You can play them single outright as well. Ryan Preece over Austin Cindric. Cindric only has two top tens on conventional big ovals, if you will, all season. Pocono and Vegas. You say, wow, but Johnny, Pocono is the track you're using to get a read on this track. Yes, you're right. And you know who beat him at Pocono? Ryan Preece. He had a better run. Preece has beaten Cindric at Pocono. He beat him at Vegas. So the two top tens that Cindric had, Preece finished better. He finished third at Vegas and seventh at Pocono. And, Cindric was just a top 10, like just made the top 10 at those two spots. And then add Miami, Kansas, Charlotte, Michigan. Priest has had top 10s in all of those. These have been where Priest has shined, like the mile and a half, the conventional ovals. So he's had a better car at the majority of these tracks, pretty much every one of these tracks. Priest has had a better car, and in my opinion, is a better driver. I think if Priest is in that car is in the playoffs. I understand it's in the playoffs now, but I think it has a win somewhere else. So to me, Ryan Priest over Austin Cindric, they're both minus 115. I like Priest over Austin Cindric. That's just a numbers bet. I mean, the numbers just show you that Priest has been better this season than Austin Cindric. And again, I mean, this is a place where it's tough to pass. So a couple of a fast car with it being tough to pass. Like I like Priest. Austin Dillon. Ty Dillon over Ty Gibbs plus 230. Ty Dillon wins this matchup. He wins the in-season tournament. If you actually dive into the numbers here, you got to do a little bit of digging. If you actually dive into the numbers on Ty Dillon at Indy, you can make a legitimate argument that this is Indianapolis. This is his best track. It's his only Xfinity Series win. It's here at Indy. He's had results 19th, 13th, and 14th at Indy. You say, well, that's not that good. Those aren't top 10. He did that with Germain Racing. Germain Racing. Some of you guys watching probably don't even know what Germain Racing is. They don't exist anymore. There's a reason they stunk. So, yes, I think Ty Gibbs will have a fast car. I know Ty Gibbs will have a fast car. It's a flat track, and he's in a Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota. But that's not all it takes to run well at Indy. Indy is kind of one of those wild card tracks because you can get so aggressive with fuel saving, with strategy. There's going to be a million different strategies that guys are running. Plus 230 is absolutely worth the gamble. I'm going for it. I'm going to parlay with Priest. And with that, with the parlay, Priest over Cindric at minus 115. Ty Dillon over Ty Gibbs. Plus 517 is the number that it comes up on Rhode Island Sportsbook. It might be different. I would shop around, but I am going with that parlay. I'm excited to watch Ty Dillon. I'm going to be rooting for Ty Dillon. How can you not be rooting for Ty Dillon? But plus 230 to me at a historically great track for Ty Dillon. I mean, there's no better thing you can ask for than as a driver than I got one shot to win $1 million. Where am I going? A track that I've won at in the Xfinity Series, the only track I've won at the Xfinity Series, and a track that an average finish of about 15th in Germain Racing equipment. So, I mean, great spot to be if you're Ty Dillon. And I know it's going to be tough, but I like his chances. Kyle Busch, top Chevy, 14-1. Is a Hail Mary play. It's a take a wad of you-know-what, throw it at the wall and see if it sticks. Yes, it is absolutely a Hail Mary. I understand. But Kyle Busch was running exceptionally well here last year and then pushed a bit too hard, spun out. That was it. But, you probably saw it speculating on X on Twitter. Old Richard Childress said on the radio to both cars, both him and Austin Dillon, those teams, he said, we need better race cars. We need better race cars to compete and to win. Kyle Busch had a great race car here last year. They had a great race car at Richmond, which is another flat track coming up soon. This is when they started to catch a little bit of fire. Kyle Busch is on a heater his last few weeks. Finishes of 11th, 5th, and 10th. It's one of the better stretches you'll see from Kyle Busch. Really, the only stretch better was last year, which were the last 4 or 5 races, 12th, 4th, 2nd, 2nd, 7th. That was essentially this stretch last year is when Kyle Busch caught fire. So it seems like he's catching fire now. 14-1, top Chevy. I think you can play him for top 5. I think you can play him for top 10. He's kissed the bricks twice. I just feel like that RC overall is going to build him a good car, a race-winning car to have a real good shot at this. And you got to get a little aggressive. You've got to find different ways to get that little bit of competitive edge. That's through strategy. I feel like Kyle Busch is going to say to his crew chief Randall Burnett, "Let's be aggressive. Let's try to go out swinging." Okay? And you have to at this point if Kyle Busch wants a win, if Kyle Busch wants to make the playoffs. It's nearly impossible that he points his way in. But no matter what, he's still going to, if he wants to point his way in, he's going to have to get aggressive and find ways to get points in the stages. He's got to run up front. So Kyle Busch, top Chevy, 14 to 1. If you just look at the speed last year at Indianapolis, Kyle Busch, where he was a top 10 guy late in the run in a top 10 guy in terms of green flag speed. Again, just got a little bit unlucky running up front towards the end of this thing, ended up finishing 25th, but he was a top 10 car. I think he's going to be a top 10 car on Sunday. Kyle Busch, watch out. Watch out. Okay? Do I have a ton of money lines? Not really right now. I like those RFK guys. I like Chase Briscoe, and then I like a lot of these props. This is going to be an interesting race. I mean, this has always proved to be a wild card. I mean, you look at some of the names that have won the Brickyard 400. You know, you've got Paul Menard. Jamie McMurray won the Brickyard 400. So a lot. I mean, this has been always, always, always a unique track, a track that favors finding an edge, like doing something a little bit different than the rest of the cars out there. Just overall, I think what you see in practice, I wouldn't like, you know, take that with a grain of salt because overall, what's going to happen here is as soon as this race starts, the first caution we get, the field, the big names might be in the back, the small names might be up front. You might have a guy like John Hunter Nemechek, who I think read like 15 laps last year here. You're going to see a lot of things like that because, again, that's just how this race has worked for years and years and years and years. And to me, yes, Kyle Larson won it last year, but Tyler Reddick had a good shot to win. Kyle Busch had a good shot to win. John Hunter Nemechek was leading a lot of laps here. Just a lot of things play out in this sort of race. And overall, I would look for some big underdogs. I think you can take a chance on some of those guys because overall, you know, whatever the first two stages look like, I guarantee that the third stage will look a lot different. That is a fact. So I'll go through them one more time. RFK Racing and Chase Briscoe, or RFK Racing winning team. Chase Briscoe outright. McDowell top 10. Ryan Preece over Austin Cindric parlayed with Ty Dillon over Ty Gibbs and Kyle Busch top 5, top 3, top 10, top Chevy. However you want to play Kyle Busch, I'm high on him this weekend. The final card, Johnny on the Track on Action Network at JOTT_podcast on X. That's where you can find it. I appreciate you watching. Want to know what you guys think. Thoughts in the comment section down below. Who do you agree with here? Who are you targeting? Who are you betting on? Who's your underdog, your dark horse? Put it in the comment section down below. Give this video a like. Goes a long way for the channel. And please, please, please hit that subscribe button down below. I would totally appreciate it. And what we will do, if you hit that subscribe button, here's what we're going to do. We're going to win some money. That's what we're going to do. Let's go win some money. We'll see you next time.